not a politician. So we have to remember that President Obama is a politician. Martin Luther King Jr. was a man of God. And you can no more compare President Obama to Martin Luther King Jr. than you can to Moses. Martin Luther King Jr. was more like Moses. And, of course, President Obama is not. So I just hope that people will re-examine history and to know that Martin Luther King Jr. was pro-life. His wife, Coretta King, was pro-choice, just like Mrs. Barbara Bush and Mrs. Laura Bush are pro-choice and think a woman should have the right to choose abortion, but their husbands do not. That was the truth of Martin Luther King Jr. He did not even go to the Margaret Sanger Awards program. When he was offered that award, his wife went and accepted the award because she was pro-choice.
Sure,
So
and people weren't as informed. And people weren't as informed, obviously, back in the 60s and things. We understand the larger eugenics program now, and you're a great voice exposing that. I've seen you on TV and heard you on radio, and now you've been here. Dr. Alveda C. King, thank you so much for coming on, and I look forward to talking to you coming up in late June to do a full interview on your book.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. God bless you. Guys, get her set up right now. Well, there she goes, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very exciting to be getting that lined up for a full 30-minute interview with her. Now, I'm going to go back to your phone calls on the subject of the police departments nationwide. This is in the documents. We have the articles, Infowars.com, training that veterans are what Homeland Security's for. Number one, enemy veterans. Number two, gun owners. Number three, Christian conservatives. It just moves down from there. Pro-life advocates, you name it. And then Al-Qaeda's not even on that list. That is sensational news. So I've been harping on that a lot. We'll take your phone calls for the rest of this hour. Then the next hour, I've got to get to the latest Benghazi news, the latest Holder news, the latest China massing on the Vietnam border news, GOP rollback school lunch programs. We're going to get to a ton of news, new NSA news. It's all coming up. But let's go out to break with this Soylent Green breakdown that dovetails with what Mrs. King was just talking about. Here it is. And then we will come back after the break. Aborted babies incinerated to heat UK hospitals. Soylent Green, ladies and gentlemen, is made out of people.
But now children are literally being passed through the furnace in order to fuel hospitals in the UK. They're being sacrificed on the altar of efficiency and prosperity.
What is the secret of Soylent Green?
The powdered flesh from dead babies. Some people believe they can cure disease.
Because of its enormous popularity, Soylent Green is in short supply. Remember, Tuesday is Soylent Green Day.
The supply of Soylent Green has been exhausted. You must evacuate the area. Today is Tuesday!
The federal court ruled that the shareholders of PepsiCo, big Bilderberg Group company, are not allowed to know what they're using the baby parts for in the flavoring, but we already know. So enjoy the flavor.
We're going to get the real solution, which is going to be a combination of death panels and sales taxes.
I'm consistently pro-death. I'm for assisted suicide. I'm for regular suicide. I'm for whatever gets the freeway moving.
Is spending $1 million on that last 3 months of life for that patient, would it be better not to lay off those 10 teachers and to make that trade-up in medical costs? But that's called the death panel, and you're not supposed to have that discussion.
They told me to say that they were sorry, but that you had become unreliable.
Is this the kind of society that you want to live in? Any kind of society that would do this to its children will do it to its senior citizens. It will do it to its dissidents. That kind of society will also eventually turn on its police, on its army, on its prison guards, on the quislings and the collaborators who make that possible. This is nothing but a suicide cult.
The scoops are on their way. The scoops are on their way. I repeat, the scoops are on their way.
You will find out why Soylent Green means life. You will find out why Soylent Green means death.
We gotta stop them!
What is the secret of Soylent Green?
Soylent Green is people!
Next thing they'll be breeding us like cattle for food. You gotta tell them.
Well, we are telling them, Chuck. Charlton Heston was a pro-gun, pro-life activist, and, of course, he was a civil rights activist. About 10 years before it was cool, he was doing it in the late 40s, early 50s, going to places in Alabama and Oklahoma where he was being death-threatened. That's why he's hated by Michael Moore, because he was a real liberal. Charlton Heston. A guy that I got a chance to talk to a few times on air, but also on the phone privately. He was so cool, man. He's just, I'm not a starstruck person, but Charlton Heston would spend like 25, 30 minutes on the phone with me, giving me pep talks. And I learned that he did that to a lot of other people. He cared so much. We'll be right back with your phone calls. A true veteran for liberty, Chuck Heston.
More and more people are discovering the incredible benefits of alkalizing the body, and there's no better product for it than AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops. Packed with a powerful combination of the most alkaline minerals and compounds, just a few drops in water will rid your body of harmful waste and give you more vibrance and vigor than you've had in years. Now buy 2 bottles and get $10 off your order. Call 800-518-7615 or visit alkavision.com. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com.
Tired of taking handfuls of vitamin pills? Look and feel super with a great-tasting liquid vitamin and mineral supplement called Passion for Life. This incredible 1-ounce daily drink can lead to better stamina and energy due to faster, more complete absorption. Passion for Life contains 135 all-natural whole food ingredients. It's the best-tasting, most powerful product of its kind on the market. Order now by calling 844-TRY-LIFE or find out much more about Passion for Life by visiting 844TryLife.com. 844TryLife.com.
Big business has discovered the preparedness market, and that makes it difficult to know where to go and who to trust. MyPatriotSupply.com is owned and operated by patriots just like you. Has the best prices on storable food, non-GMO seeds, water filtration devices, home canning equipment, survival and self-reliance books, and more. MyPatriotSupply.com has old-fashioned values and the absolute best customer service in the industry. Look for the deal of the day. Unique, affordable survival supplies that fit anyone's budget. Get same-day shipping on all orders and free shipping on orders over $49. Call 866-229-0927, 866-229-0927, or visit MyPatriotSupply.com for emergency preparedness, self-reliance, and food independence. Shop with a name you know and a name you can trust. Before it's time to survive, it's time to prepare. MyPatriotSupply.com.
A chemical spill contaminating the water supply in 9 West Virginia counties.
This year alone, over 300,000 people in West Virginia had their drinking water contaminated.
What are the health effects of having these drugs in our drinking water?
It's forced medical treatment without the consent of residents.
My friends, water filtration is one of the most basic actions you can take to protect you and your family from the harmful toxins and heavy metals in your tap water.
On average, the county says it sprays with the glyphosate at least once a week.
Few filters cut out the glyphosate that is found in water supplies worldwide. Remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, hydrofluorosilicic acid, sodium hexafluorosilicate.
Fluoride, it is in tea, it's in coffee, it's in water, it's in bread, it's in toothpaste.
It is our responsibility to protect our families. The establishment's not going to do it. It's time to take action. It's time to filter our water. Visit InfoWarsStore.com and use promo code WATER to get 10% off their entire family of incredible products. Or call toll-free 888-253-3139. Folks, we are the tip of the spear promoting liberty worldwide. We have the nightly news as subscriber, 7 o'clock every night Central. PrisonPlanet.tv, InfoWarsNews.com. It's $5.95 a month. Each membership, 11 people can simultaneously use with the same username passcode. I want to thank all the members of PrisonPlanet.tv. I want to encourage those of you that aren't members to become members. See all my films in HD. 19 years of work. Much of it's posted up there. The site's been around 12, 13 years. The site just gets better and better. PrisonPlanet.tv. InfoWarsStore.com has the best ProPure water filters, 10% off, promo code WATER. We've got InfoWarsLife.com with all the amazing supplements. We've got the Molon Labe shirts for men and women, the best design out there in my humble view. And your purchase makes the whole thing possible. So please continue to shop with the good guys, InfoWarsStore.com. Max in Wisconsin, thanks for holding. We're going back to the topic of the surreal Twilight Zone event of the government admitting the main enemy, the terrorists, are now the veterans. How did we go from the veterans marching off to supposedly fight the people that did 9/11, which was the Iraqis, not Saudi Arabia, who supposedly was behind it, and then now, 12 years later, it's flipped on into the Patriots? I mean, this is a scandal. Much bigger than them having death list on veterans at the VA. We've told you that for years. They've had death panels there. It's terrible. But what about preparing for war on veterans? It just shows how maniac, out of control the establishment is. Max, what's your take on this?
Yeah, I'm here in Wisconsin, and I don't know if you're aware of this, but they produce the MRAPs along with majority of the other trucks for the military here in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and they have a stockpile of about 10,000 sitting partially at the Oshkosh airfield and partially...
No, you've done your intel. They made 6,000 of another type, smaller one, I forget the name of it. They bought a bunch from Blackwater they made out in, was it Virginia? And then I saw the order a few years ago for 10,000 to be cashed and then deployed to police. And so you came up with a good number of 10,000. Is it still 10,000?
Well, they're always moving them. And what's nice that us, the taxpayers, we get to pay for parking nonstop for those 10,000 just sitting in the lot. They're already paid for. And I talked to one of the guys who works on them. He says that they can actually be hacked and drive up to 120 miles per hour. Now, imagine one of those suckers driving into your house at 120 miles per hour.
Yeah, you're saying it has a governor on it of probably 80 miles an hour, but you can bypass that and go 120?
Yep, and they just, I think last week, got the contract for the unmanned version, which they're starting to produce, I think, either this year or next year.
Yeah, everything's going to be unmanned. People think of a robot as Robbie the Robot. No, it's drones, it's ground attack, it's an armored truck with guns all over it, nerve gas, you name it. We're not going to be fighting troops or SWAT teams. There'll be no troops, there'll be no SWAT teams. There's going to be technicians overseeing robotic vehicles. And this is the way it's, I mean, they're done with us. I mean, this is the end of humanity as we know it. If this rolls out, it's an AI system. Do you agree with that analysis?
Yeah, I think we can turn around and maybe use this technology for good, use maybe the military technology to fight wildfires, clean up our oceans, clean up our planet. And
oh, there'll always be good uses. The problem is it's directed by evil people. It's like you could argue, oh, give women birth control. But it came from a eugenicist and literally Adolf Hitler. I mean, Margaret Sanger got awards from Hitler and was buddies with him, and they sent love letters to each other. And then they call her a liberal god in Time magazine. I mean, it's just... look, of course robot trucks can be good to fight fires. They're not going to be used for that. They're going to be used to come against the people. And again, we're allowing an engineering system to create systems where humans aren't needed. Read Bill Joy's paper, Why the Future Doesn't Need It. Third hour, tons of news, your calls. Joe, Bruce, Michael, Jim, your calls are coming up. 800-259-9231. Stay with us. Tell friends and family to tune in, folks. This is an info war. We're pro-human. We want a future. But we got to wake up to the globalist master plan. It's not their world. This is Alex Jones for InfoWarsLife.com. The latest in preparedness is now here. An electrically stabilized colloidal silver solution that can be added to both your home cabinet and preparedness pack alike. Concentrated to 30 parts per million in what has been dubbed the survival silver solution. The new InfoWars Life Silver Bullet Colloidal Silver is the answer for you and your family. And it's entirely free of toxic artificial additives that are loaded into many products. The InfoWars Life Silver Bullet Silver is so powerful that it is concentrated into a 2-ounce bottle and is not recommended for extended continual use. This is not a low-grade formula. We are working with one of the top laboratory manufacturers in the United States to bring you the best form of colloidal silver using electrical processes within a base of deionized water. For your preparedness storage or your home kitchen, purchase your bottle of InfoWarsLife.com Silver Bullet Colloidal Silver today and find other amazing supplements at InfoWarsLife.com.
We
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.